In Stranger Things, Mike Wheeler starts off as the emotional anchor of the group. He's loyal, he's idealistic, and deeply committed to the people he cares about. He doesn't just want to help his friends, he needs to help his friends. That core sense of responsibility defines him early on. When Will goes missing in season 1, it's Mike who believes he's still alive. He organizes the search. He takes charge. He refuses to let go, even when the adults already have. It's not just about friendship, it's about certainty and purpose and refusing to accept helplessness. For Mike, belief is a form of control. When the world gets chaotic, belief is the thing that he clings to. That same intensity shows up in his relationship with Eleven. From the moment he meets her, he casts her in a role: protector, mystery, friend, then something more. But as much as he cares about her, his love also becomes a way for him to anchor himself. He struggles when things feel unstable. When Eleven pulls away or sets boundaries, Mike doesn't always respond well. Not because he's unkind, but because he equates closeness with safety. If someone pulls back, it triggers insecurity. You see this in how tightly he clings, not just to Eleven, but to the group as a whole. By the later seasons, Mike starts to lose some of that earlier confidence. As the stakes get higher and the group dynamics shift, he finds himself more reactive. His protectiveness can veer into control. He tries to manage things, manage how people feel, what decisions they make, because ambiguity makes him uncomfortable. He's not someone who sits easy with emotional uncertainty. He wants to know where things stand. He wants to know what role he plays, and he needs to know whether he matters. That's especially clear in his tension with Will. Mike doesn't always know how to respond to Will's emotional vulnerability. There's discomfort, even avoidance, not because he doesn't care, but because he doesn't have the tools to meet someone in that emotional space without trying to fix it or to sidestep it. The friendship with Will also reveals something deeper about Mike. For most of the series, he defines himself by what he does. He leads, he protects, he loves, but when his actions aren't needed or welcomed, he flounders. His self-worth is tied up in being essential. When Eleven grows more independent or Will starts to change, Mike has a harder time figuring out who he is outside of that utility. He doesn't yet have a strong internal sense of self that's separate from what he can offer other people. His conflict with Hopper is a good example of how he handles pushback. Mike reacts with defiance, but underneath that is insecurity. He wants to assert his autonomy, but he still needs external validation. And when he doesn't get it, he swings between anger and withdrawal. Again, it's not malicious, it's developmental. He's in that phase of adolescence where emotions run really high, but emotional awareness hasn't quite caught up. At his best, Mike is brave, he's empathic, and he's committed. But he's also rigid at times, especially when he's overwhelmed. He tries to impose structure on things he can't control, whether it's the supernatural or the emotional. That rigidity protects him from feeling helpless, but it also limits him. His growth over the series is about loosening that grip, learning to let others make their own choices, sitting with the discomfort instead of trying to fix everything, trusting that people will still care about him even if he's not constantly proving his worth. Mike has the capacity to be a strong, steady leader. But that only happens when he stops clinging to certainty and starts embracing emotional complexity. When he listens more than he tries to solve. And when he realizes that being close to someone doesn't mean never being uncertain or vulnerable. It means being okay with not knowing everything and showing up anyway. That's where real connection happens. And for Mike, that's the challenge and the path forward. And if you're interested in hearing some of my thoughts about other Stranger Things characters, I'd encourage you to check out this video. So that's all for today's video. As always, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I will see you in the next one.